Hello everybody and welcome back to Mark's Allotment. It's been quite a time since I put a film out, but I will explain the reasons behind that in the next film. Today I want to concentrate on putting some posts in, which I'll explain the reason for that as well shortly. I'm just going to turn the camera around. So basically I'm putting posts in here and in the up the other end as well to so I can put some ropes or wires up or something to support these asparagus plants, because they now start to flop over. I'm not picking these yet because these are new plants, so I got to wait a few years before I can start picking. But when you see them coming up like that, oh, I'm sorely tempted, but I mustn't. I must resist. Anyway, so I'm putting posts in to, and I'll have a cross member going across to support wires. So basically, this film is about showing you the way I put the posts in, and to get a nice firm post as well, hopefully. Right. Now then should have time being so I can set the camera up. Bye for now. Okay, so the first thing to note is when I'm digging the hole for the post, I don't want the hole so big that I've then got to pack in a load of material. I just want it the space around the post, which is about 2 to 3 inches diameter. So just want enough space around the post so I can use this bit of wood to ram down the earth. I don't want, about 6 inches either side, because otherwise it's a lot more material to have to ram down. So what I'm doing now is taking as much of the topsoil out first, and when I get down to the clay level I'll dig that out and put that to one side. I don't want it mixing up. So just going to finish doing this bit. So what I shall do now is I'm going to put it onto time lapse because it'll take a while to get this sorted. Bear with me. Okay, so that's the hole dug. Sorry about the camera work. Down to the clay level. It's not quite sure what the depth is. I've basically just guesstimating it. Right, just going to turn the camera around a minute. So the next job is so as you can see now in there I've rammed him down a bit into the clay level. So the next job now will be to put the material back around, but at the same time I'm going to be making sure stones are being pulled out as well. Because I can use those stones for another job which I've got in mind, but also the soil packs more tightly together if you haven't got the stones amongst it. So the initial part is quite tricky, trying to keep the post vertical in that plane or that plane. So initially it's a bit of fiddling around, putting material in, packing it in, getting the level on the post to make sure it's vertical, etc. But as we progress, it'll get easier, and the post will hold itself then. So so basically all I'm going to do now is little stones I'm not too worried about, but just this is the biggest stones. I'm going to put enough material in. And then I shall, it's quite tricky trying to do this one-handed. So I'm not worried about the level just yet. I'm just going to pack down around, because at this point I can still be able to move the post backwards and forwards. So however much I might get it accurate now, just by doing this will move it, so better to wait until if you can see what I'm doing here. Now I'm using the post as a guide to slide the pounder, this bit of wood down, so I'm not just doing it arbitrarily like this, which I will do in a minute, but I'm just letting it slide down and then pounding him down nice and hard. Now this is laborious, I know, but once I've done this, the posts are quite solid, so it's taken me a bit of time to get the right amount of packing down, as it were. So I'm just going to carry on with this, and then I shall, and then obviously, bear with me a second. When I get to a certain point, I shall put the level on. In fact, that's not too bad there. In fact, that's pretty good. More luck than judgment, of course. It's only a fraction, but it's not going to be spot on, simply because the posts are tapered anyway. The base is bigger than the top part, and it's not perfectly round, so there's going to be slight discrepancies. So in fact, I think that's pretty within the parameters that I want. I'm not going to get it much better, so I may have got away with that one. So what I'm going to do now, carry on packing, and then periodically I'll check the level, make sure it hasn't gone way out of level, and then show you the finished product, but I'll put it on time lapse as I'm doing it. So see you in a bit. Okay everybody, I'm hoping you could see most of what was going on. So basically, I'll just show you the finished article shortly, because I'm not going to film the whole process, but anyway, so just to reiterate then, to go back over the points, the tips as I see them. So when you dig the hole, you only want it big enough to take the post, plus enough space to accommodate whichever tool you're using to tamp the earth down. So in other words, you don't want it, about 2 foot square hole. It's pointless, because otherwise you're loosening up the soil even more. So just keep the hole as small as you possibly can. What else have we got? Obviously the clay will go back in first, followed by the topsoil after. Now, obviously, once I remove stones and things like that out of it, that means the amount of material going in won't be enough. Probably there'll be a shallow dip in the soil, because obviously the soil's got to accommodate where those stones were. Now then, when I'm putting the soil in, obviously do it roughly level as you can, and then just tamp down around the post, not too hard, just enough to quite firmly, but not rock hard. Then I consolidate around the rest of the material by tamping that down, but then I finish off by running the piece of wood down the post and ramming it down as hard as I possibly can, just to compact that even more. That usually goes down about a centimetre. Just repeat that process until you finish filling the hole. So I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll show you the finished output. Bye for now. Okay everybody, and welcome back. So just turn the camera on. So that's finished now. Well, say finished. Obviously there's quite a discrepancy in levels. That's all the material back in except for the stones. So, and I've really compacted it hard as well. So as you can see, I've got some notches cut out to accommodate a cross member. So one there, and hopefully so I can have two wires or string going down. Now then, the other tip about putting these in as well is make sure that the soil is damp, not soaking wet, otherwise it becomes like a rice pudding, but you know, that it's damp enough that if it's too dry, the soil, it won't compact down hard enough. So that's the other tip. So now some of you may be thinking, well, when I put a rope or a wire on this and I tension them up, that will pull the posts in, and you're probably correct in that assumption, but I'm not intending to put that amount of tension on the posts. It's just enough to put a string or a wire reasonably tight, just to support these asparagus plants when they get so tall that they flop over. So that'll be the next job, put the cross members in. I've got them already cut. I'm just waiting for the weather to dry everything up a bit so I can put some preservative on. So that's those done. As I say, it's a bit of a faff putting them in, but once they're in, they're nice. You know, they're quite solid then. Also put some in here as well. Now these here I'm going to be putting gooseberries plants and red currant plants. Now then, I was given these bits of rail off another plot holder. It's amazing how stuff turns up. So I've screwed it to there, and I put these. I had some of these. I know you can get different, like turnbuckles, but I had these in the garage, so I thought I might as well use these up. So all I did with these was drilled a little hole just to get them started, screwed them all the way in, then I screwed them out about 3 or 4 turns either end, and bear with me a sec. Okay, sorry about that folks. Where was I? So I say asparagus. Oh yeah, so we come back to these, wouldn't we? So these are, so I screw them in fully, you know, and then unscrew them about 3 to 4 turns approximately, and then same both ends. Then put the wire in and got it as tight as I could, you know, the pliers, and wound the wire around, and then screw them back in the 3 or 4 turns back until they sealed in that. And then yeah, so then did that both ends. Oh yeah, that could be a little bit tighter. And I've got a reasonably good tension on these now. So these are in. I got need to get another piece of rail to go from here to here. So, what did I say? The red currants and gooseberries, but they'll be on what's the method of growing? They'll be growing up flat against the fence, not as bushes anyway. Right, I'm building now, so I'm going to leave it there for today. In the next film I'll explain why I haven't been putting up videos for quite some time, and I apologise for that, for those who are been kind enough to be my subscribers and perhaps wondering what's been going on. But partly it's down to the COVID nonsense as well. So, but I will explain everything a bit more in detail on my next film. Bye for now.